Welcome to Game Trailers TV, this week from Valve in Seattle. I'm joined by the CEO of Valve, Gabe Newell. Gabe, you guys had a great year last year with Left 4 Dead. This year you're coming back with a sequel?
Yep, we're coming back with Left 4 Dead 2. And I have to say, I hate you. Last year at this show,
yes,
you convinced me to say something about if I got 10,000 emails that we would include Counter-Strike 2 and an Orange Box 2.
How many emails did you get?
I'm up to over 40,000 emails, okay? So don't do that this year.
No promises this year, Gabe. Well, the fans want to know about that. We'll get to that later, but let's talk about Left 4 Dead 2. So you guys announced this at E3 as sort of a surprise, and I think that the fans were obviously, I think, a bit overwhelmed by the news, the fact that Valve was going to bring out a sequel in 12 months. There's a petition online, which I'm sure you're aware of, with trying to boycott Left 4 Dead 2. I mean, these fans, what do you think happened there?
There are a couple things going on. First of all, I think going into the announcement, we were all like, woo, we're going to do a sequel in 12 months, which is something we haven't ever done before.
Holy
The people who are leading the boycott group have some really legitimate concerns. One is, if you guys have announced this is something you've never done before, does this mean that you're not going to support Left 4 Dead? Rather than getting into sort of a debate with these people, we've tried very hard to show them that we're actually going to continue to support Left 4 Dead. We love it. And that Left 4 Dead 2 really is a legitimate sequel and separate from Left 4 Dead 1, as well as make sure that we do a good job integrating these two communities once Left 4 Dead 2 is out.
They were worried you were going to abandon Left 4 Dead 1, but you just announced Crash Course, which is new DLC, 2 new maps for Left 4 Dead 1. We're showing the first footage of it tonight.
And, you know, that hopefully will show people that we're just as committed to supporting Left 4 Dead as we have all of our products.
Hey guys, welcome back to GTTV from Valve with all the latest info on Left 4 Dead 2, which is coming out this November. And I'm here with Chet to tell us about the brand new survivors, whole new cast. There's a high school football coach.
Named Coach, yes. Pretty nicely named. He's the older guy. He's kind of more the leader figure there, but a lot of shape.
And you've also got Rochelle, who's a Depeche Mode fan, right?
Correct. She's an assistant producer for a news agency.
I don't see anyone.
She was down there. This is going to be her big break because the regular producer couldn't make it because it's a zombie apocalypse. She had a little smarter. So we have Nick, the gambler, riverboat gambler, kind of con man, not sure.
In that white suit.
Cares about his looks, cares about smells, a little sensitive in some of those things. And then we end up with the youngest, Ellis. And he's your fun-loving garage mechanic. He's enthusiastic, throws himself into things, sometimes throws himself into them probably a little too much.
But what about the other survivors?
This is happening just a few days after the first. If the first is 2 weeks after, this would be 2 weeks in like a couple days. We're down south, so they've mutated it further, right? So we have some new special infected as well.
What is the zombie virus?
It either turns you into this catatonic zombie that wanders the streets, and that's your common horde.
Yes.
Or it kind of mixes with certain people and makes them very strange. And so it's these kind of mutations that kind of extend us out of just the classic zombie apocalypse and into a little bit more of a horror movie at times.
Which new boss infected do you have?
First one's a charger. And, well, first of all, he's charging through. Right. He picks up that first guy, and then he charges through the rest of them, holding out that first guy, kind of using him as a shield, and then just starts pounding away on him.
And then you also got a new one, the Spitter.
Correct. She spits.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, you've got so many bodily fluids in this game. You've got the boomer,
I think we're going to stop. We were saying we should probably stop the Spitter.
What are you doing new with the gameplay for this title?
So first, we didn't want to mess it up. We wanted to bring the fast, frantic action. But equally, a lot of times when we would play online with people, we would see the best way to play wasn't the funnest way, which is running down in the middle, shooting your guns, protecting each other, helping each other up when you fall. You know, all of that kind of fun action. And so we've added some new creatures to help that. We've added the AI director behaves differently to help that.
You've also got some new weapons in there. My favorite, you've got the frying pan, you've got the chainsaw.
We got the cricket bat. We have so many weapons, we've gotten to the cricket bat.
Exactly.
That's how many weapons we have.
What else are we going to see?
Baseball bat. We've got the axe. We've got a couple other melee weapons we're working on where they're the bigger swings. And we also have a sword in there now, a katana.
And then you got all the machine guns on top of that.
Yeah, so we also have things like the grenade launcher. That's brand new. And we also have a bunch of different selections for like your rifles and your assault rifles.
And incendiary fire? Or?
Incendiary ammo. We set the infected on fire. You just pick it up along the way, and about next thing you know, you're setting everything on fire.
You've got, as you mentioned, new areas like the swamp, and you're going through Georgia, New Orleans. The actual settings of the game, how are they going to play out differently?
each area is very different. And for example, what we were playing earlier today was the fairgrounds. That's almost like our fantasy level in a sense of where you have these crazy things you've seen in real life, but also now you have the zombie apocalypse. So when the merry-go-round starts up in the middle of the zombie apocalypse, it feels a little bit different.
Reloading.
This year's virtual football season has kicked off with the release of Madden NFL 10.
It's intercepted.
And now you can... Reloading.
Hey guys, we're back on GTTV shooting up zombies this week in Left 4 Dead 2. And I'm here with Chet because now we're going to talk about one of the brand new campaigns in Left 4 Dead 2 for the first time.
So you fled Savannah, you hit a traffic jam, and you're here. And this is so new, so breaking, we haven't even named it or given it a tagline yet.
But it looks good. So how do you do the storytelling in this game? Because I know when you first announced it, there was talk about there might be a movie for each campaign introducing it. I know you've kind of moved away from that now, and a lot of it's going to be just inside the game, right?
Correct. One of the things we're experimenting with is having the story told inside the game entirely. Where last time they were unconnected movies, this time you're going to be able to see, if you escape in this craft, you're going to start the next one in this craft, or they're going to be talking about what happened. And so we wanted to kind of have that kind of continuity so people understood the travel. And so, some people, you want to just jump in the third map. The day you buy it, you jump in the third campaign, and you want to play the swamps because that's what you've been seeing. You can go do that. No big deal. But for the people who want that little bit more of a story, a little bit more of that connective tissue, we wanted to do it. But equally, we don't want to slow you down. There will be a little movie to start.
Okay. Just like the first game?
Oh, it's actually a little different this time. The last one was just like 5 minutes before you get to play, this is what happened.
Right.
Where this one's a little bit bigger of an overview and kind of shows you more of what's in store for you.
You just announced Crash Course, which is a brand new DLC pack for Left 4 Dead 1. What are we going to see in that? It's 2 new maps?
So we wanted to make a versus campaign that can be played in 30 minutes. So it's a 2-map campaign. It's kind of centered around versus. It has co-op and survival mode as well. But we made some additions for versus mode. We made so you can see the status of your teammates, how they're recharging. All the items respawn exactly in the same place for each team, so it's a little more fair. We let you get the more powerful weapons early on.
Now, the story of this DLC is set between 2 of the campaigns from the first game, right?
Correct. So in No Mercy, many observant fan has realized that, hey, this guy sounds infected, the helicopter pilot, and so...
And he is.
He is, yes, he is.
He turned into a zombie, Francis. He wasn't gonna land the thing.
One of our survivors, I want to give that away, nicely takes care of that situation, but of course not fly the helicopter. And so we find out how... Crash Course.
So Chad, this is a pretty meaty DLC. How much is it going to cost?
It's going to be free on the PC, and there'll be a small fee on the 360.
That's something for the fans, right? Free on the
There you
PC?
go.
Are you playing an aggressive DLC plan for Left 4 Dead 2 as well?
For right now, we're trying to put everything we can in the box. DLC in the future, sure.